welcome to another episode of World Digest with me, Angela Kufuor. Today's story is about the growing cooperation and expanding ties between Russia and Iran, two global powers, one an economic powerhouse and a former superpower, the other a regional heavyweight, are joining forces in space. Russia has just launched Iranian satellites into orbit, sparking questions and concerns across the international stage. Are we witnessing the dawn of a new alliance, or is this just a calculated power move? Before we dive into the main subject, let's discuss the historical relationship between the two countries. Russia and Iran may seem like an unusual pair. Historically, they've had complex relationships, sometimes rivals, other times reluctant allies. But in recent years, with growing Western sanctions and diplomatic isolations, both nations have found a common cause against shared adversaries. Historically, Moscow has supported Tehran in various international arenas, including nuclear negotiations and arms deals, positioning itself as a crucial ally for Tehran in times of need. The two nations showed their renewed cooperation again when a Russian rocket blasted off successfully to carry a pair of Iranian satellites into orbit on November 5, 2024. The Soyuz rocket lifted off as scheduled from the Vostochny launch pad in far eastern Russia and put its payload into a designated orbit 9 minutes after its launch. It was carrying two Russian Lunosphere M-Earth observation satellites and several dozen smaller satellites, including the two Iranian ones, Kosa and Hudhud. If you are wondering if it was the first time Russia and Iran had to cooperate to launch satellites, the answer is a big no. In 2022, a Russian rocket launched an Iranian Earth observation satellite called Kayam, which was built in Russia on Tehran's order. And in February, Russia put another Iranian satellite named Power-1 into orbit. Sanctions from the US and Europe have been pivotal in pushing these two powers closer. Facing economic challenges, technological restrictions, and diplomatic isolation, Russia and Iran are actively seeking each other's support. The November 5 launch comes as Russia and Iran have expanded ties in various spheres. Ukraine and the West have accused Tehran of providing Moscow with hundreds of exploding drones for use on the battlefield in Ukraine and help launch their production in Russia. The Iranian drone deliveries, which Moscow and Tehran have denied, have allowed for a constant barrage of long-range drone strikes at Ukraine's infrastructure. So, what's so important about this satellite launch? Russia's recent launch of an Iranian satellite isn't just a demonstration of technological prowess. It is a signal to the world that Moscow and Tehran are not backing down. This joint space venture signifies more than just a simple launch. It underscores an evolving geopolitical alliance. Once cautious in its Middle Eastern dealings, Russia is now visibly backing Iran on multiple fronts, including defense, economic trade, and now space technology. How does the West see this growing alliance between Russia and Iran? Critics argue that this partnership poses a serious challenge to Western interests in the region, possibly altering the power of dynamics in areas like Syria, Iraq, and other Middle Eastern regions where US and European interests are deeply rooted. Unsurprisingly, the West is watching this development closely. A Russian-Iran partnership in space may seem like a harmless collaboration on the surface, but given the potential for this satellite to be used for intelligence and military purposes, some officials are sounding the alarm. Space-based intelligence can provide Iran with powerful tools, from tracking naval movements in the Gulf to monitoring military assets. For Russia, this represents an opportunity to reaffirm its influence on the global stage once again and strengthen an ally that can help it counter Western pressure. While the West sees this alliance as a threat to global stability, Moscow and Tehran see it as a logical response to international isolation. So, what does this mean for the future of global relations? If Russia and Iran continue down this path, it could encourage other countries facing Western scrutiny to form alliances, leading to a more divided world more than ever. To draw the curtains on this controversial story, the important question here is this partnership a legitimate step towards independence, or is it a threat to global peace?